Hi, welcome to part 2 of my palette collection. This is the last part. It should be shorter than the last one. This is not a declutter, this is a collection video, although I may be getting rid of some stuff. I do have a recent 55 palette declutter video of 55 palettes that I got rid of without showing you my collection. So if you want a declutter, you might want to go check that one out. Please do not ask me for any palettes that I do declutter in this. They will find good homes, okay? All right, let's just get started. The first palette, and I'm starting with a letter M because we left off with a letter L on the last video. This is the Feral palette from Menagerie. I love this packaging. I love their packaging. I only have one palette from them, and this is it. And I really do enjoy this palette. I think that the shimmers are really beautiful. I love this color story. I think the formula is good. Yeah, this is kind of a neutral, colorful palette, and I really do enjoy it. So yes. Now we're gonna get into my melt collection. I have the Melt Amora e Mariposis. Amora e Mariposis. I know I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Palette. And this is stunning. I was so excited when I got this on sale because I could never afford or didn't want to afford to pay that much for this palette because it's like a $70 palette. But it was on sale and I was so freaking stoked to get it. It's beautiful. I love, love, love the color story. The pigmentation of these shadows are just insane, okay? It's so good. The next one I have is the Smoke Sessions by Melt, which is what's on my eyes today. I have used this palette quite a bit, but not like a crap ton, and I actually used it today to see if I wanted to keep it, and I do, because these shimmers back here are unique to my collection, I feel like, and they're stunning. Now I have used this quite a bit, but it's you know, very shimmer heavy and there's not enough mattes. But overall, I really do enjoy this. I think the shimmers are really pretty and the mattes are a little bit dry, but they're okay. So I like it enough to want to keep it. I have the She's in Party by Melt. I love that packaging. I think it's beautiful. And the palette is stunning. I really do like it. Again, this one is very shimmer heavy, but they do have 3 mattes instead of 2, unlike the Smoke Sessions. And I enjoy this palette. So it is a little bit monochromatic, but I love every look I've created with it. One of my favorites from Melt that I have in my collection is the 420 palette. I just love it. It is very matte heavy. There is only one shimmer in this palette, but I love it. I mean, I would prefer there to be another shimmer in this palette. And the shimmer in the palette isn't that great, but I love every look I've created with this. It is so beautiful and honey, and I love this palette. I don't know what else to say. I know so many people had bad reviews on this palette. Not me. I loved it. Same with the Millennial Pinks palette. I think this is a very unique color story. Mine is dirty, so you can tell I've used it a lot, okay? Because of how dirty it is. I love it. I think it's a very unique color story. Now, I think these two are a little bit too close to each other and that they could have lightened this one up a little bit or something. I don't know. They could have done something different, but I love this palette. Hi, Mez. A lot. Hi, Mez. Yes. That is my cat. Sorry. Okay, I have the Midas High Times palette. I'm gonna get rid of it. And this is a hard one for me because I love every look that I've created with this palette. I loved the formula of this palette. I love this palette. I do. But it has very subculture vibes. Mez. No. It's very subculture-y. I also got a new green palette from Fantasy Cosmetica called Druid, and it has a very similar vibe in my opinion. Also, Midas is gone. They have decided to rebrand after stating they were leaving. I don't know what they're doing, and I just don't like it, quite frankly. It's such a beautiful palette, but I don't need it. I don't reach for it very often, and they're gone. So, and this shade that I really like is in the Melt palette that I have. So it's gonna go. That was a hard one. I had to sit on it for a while. So I have the Smoky Glow palette from Midas. And this one has some unique shimmers in it that make me really want to keep it. Like the Lino, the Group Chat, the Nutty, even the Dofa is very beautiful. But quite frankly, I don't use this palette very often. I don't. But I'm going to let it stay for a little bit longer because of those shimmers. I kind of want to depot them, but they're glued in, and so I need to get stuff to declutter. I need some Z palettes, I need some magnets, but I'm going to keep it for now because the shimmers in this palette are really, really good. So I have the Morphe Mickey Mouse palette. It's the small one. I thought the formula in this one was better than the big one, which I've already gotten rid of. And I love the color story in this, but I don't need it. I don't. I'm gonna get rid of it. Morphe is kind of a problematic brand anyways, so I'm not gonna cry about it. I have 3 more Morphe palettes. I have this one, which I got in Texas when I went to my dad's wedding. My grandma got it for me. It's the 35D. I went in with my sister. My grandma stayed in the car with my nephew, but I don't know why I chose this palette to get, because I don't want it, and I've swatched it and I like some of it, but you know what got me besides these red and green tones? The rose. That's what got me. I'm not going to use it. I know I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to let it go. Even though there's memories attached to picking up that palette, I don't need to keep it. So I have this Morphe Boss Mode 35B. I'm attached to this palette for some crazy psycho reason. I did get it on my birthday when I went out with my friend whose birthday is on my birthday at Ulta. Meow. Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Hello, miss. I love this color story so much, so it's gonna stay for a little bit longer. Yes, kitty. This is my kitty. He likes to talk a lot. He's kind of a troublemaker. I love him, but he is trouble. He is the weirdest cat I've ever had. Yes. So, I have the 35 Everyday Chic palette from Morphe. And it looks like this. I love this color story so much. It calls to me, the way it looks, the greens with those purples and the cool tones. I just love it. But I'm not going to keep it because I have other palettes that are smaller from non-problematic brands that just make me more happy than this very large palette, like the new Violet Sage has the pinks and greens that give me glow. Vintage Rose has the greens and pinks. So I'm gonna get rid of it, even though when I open this there's something that makes me want to keep it. I haven't used it enough to justify it, and I know that that's not going to change. Okay, so we're going into my ends. And I was kind of surprised when I realized how many Natasha Denona palettes I had. I mean, I don't have that many, and I have the smaller ones, but I was surprised. So I have the mini Natasha Gold palette. I got this and paid full price for this when the gold went out because I wanted the gold so bad, but didn't want to pay full price for the gold, and then the gold was gone and I missed out on it, and it makes me sad. And so when I saw this, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this because the gold is gone. And yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The formula is good. I like the center shimmer, but you know, it's not big enough for me, I guess. I have the Natasha Mini Tropic palette. This color story kind of throws me off a little bit, and I'm not a big fan of the lighter, you know, mattes. The shimmers are pretty. I do like the colorfulness of this palette, and I like the idea of this Natasha Denona Jubilee palette being like paired with this one. I got this one from Jennifer Steps on Villager Jenny, so thank you, Jenny, for this palette. But yes, so those two kind of go together in my opinion. I have the Natasha Denona Peak palette, which I got in Boxy when I had Boxy. It's an okay palette. I'm going to keep it because it's Natasha Denona. And then I have the Cupid palette that I got from Andy. Andy Does Stuff. And I love this. It's a good one. It looks so boring, but I love it. And it has a lot of cream to matte shadows, which I really enjoy. And then I got this half off. It's the Natasha Denona Love palette, which I also think is discontinued. And it's my only big palette or medium-sized palette from her. And I really do enjoy this palette. So I have the Nomad Tokyo Harajuku palette, and I enjoy the shimmers in this palette. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit, especially this gray, these two grays actually, but I mostly only like the shimmers in those two colors. This is a matte satin shimmer. I'm not a big fan of pastels, but I'm keeping it for these shimmers down here. And I have kind of dwindled down on my pastel collection, which wasn't very big, so I'm keeping the couple of pastel palettes that I do have because you never know when I need one. I have the Haunted Europe, which I absolutely love this palette. It's so beautiful. I love it. That's my vibe, my jam. I have the Berlin Underground palette that I got from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. Thank you so much, Mary. Everybody will be linked down below, so make sure you go check them out if you haven't already. But she was so kind and sent this palette to me, and I love it. It's very dark, very grungy, and very me. And I got the Marajuku, or I have the Marrakesh from Nomad, and I won this from Dion Loves Makeup. So thank you, Dion. I was excited that I won this giveaway and got to get this palette because I really do like Nomad and its formula. I have one palette from Oden. It's the Norns. Their packaging is just amazing. And this is what it looks like. I'm not a fan of their mattes in this palette. I don't think that they performed very well, and there are some shimmers like this Passion that's like this cream, and it's already feeling kind of dry, to be honest. I wasn't a fan of that. However, the shimmers in this palette are very beautiful and very good. I love these shimmers. They're so good. So I'm keeping it for that. Their new Christmas release palettes are calling to me. But I'm not gonna get them. I have the Persona Identity 2. I won this in a giveaway from Leanna Dalton, and I love this palette. It's very basic looking, but the shimmers are freaking amazing and stunning, and it creates such simple looks. And I think it's a very good combination of mattes and shimmers, and I just really like it. So thank you, Leanna Dalton. I have the Center Stage from Pinky Rose. You can tell I've used this palette. I really like it. I love that star shade right here. It's a beautiful palette. The shimmers are okay. I hate Pinky Rose's glitters. Hate. Like, they are rough, they are dry, they suck. They suck, they suck, they suck. And so I don't like the fact that there's 2 of them in this palette. However, I love this. This is like a neutral, easy grunge palette for me, with the purples and the yellows that I like. So yes. And I have the Exotic Peacock from them. Shimmers are okay. This color story is amazing. I really like this color story, and at one point I was like, you know what, I don't need this palette, but I did a 3 looks 1 palette with this, a 3 looks 1 palette video with this, and I created eye looks that I really liked, and I was like, yep, I need it. I need it. I love it. Yes, Mez. Yes. So I have this Peachy Queen We're All Mad Here palette. So the color story just isn't my favorite. It's kind of all over the place, kind of boring, kind of jumbled. I really do like this hi, Madness shade. It's really pretty. Hi, Mez. Yes. Hi. I'm keeping this for packaging. Camera battery. Oh, that is my cat. He's being a turd. He's in my lap because he wouldn't be quiet, but my battery just died, so sorry about that. But anyways, I'm keeping this for packaging in that Madness shade, and I love this so much, but I don't need it. I don't need it, and I just need to let it go, even though I want to keep it for the packaging. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use it. It's got to go. So that one was kind of hard, but I'm over. Something is just clicking in my mind, and I just don't have space to keep things that doesn't bring me enough joy and multiple aspects of, like, that doesn't bring me joy when I look at it to use it. It brings me joy because of the packaging, but the packaging isn't enough for me anymore. So I now need to find a replacement. I'm kidding. Okay, so I have this Spellbook Love palette from Rude, and this palette is really pretty, but I have the High Tides, and that's where I'm at. I have the High Tides from ColourPop that looks very similar. I don't need this pressed glitter because I kept my BH palette that had the blue pressed glitter. So I love this packaging. I love the fact that it's a spell book and everything, but I think I'm gonna get rid of it. That's what I'm gonna do. This is basically brand new. I think I've only swatched the shimmers. It's gotta go. I have used the High Tides, which is why I'm picking the High Tides over the Rude. So I love, love, love this palette. It's the Peppermint Mocha by Ruby May. I love Christmas and Halloween themed palettes, but this color story is awesome, and the shimmers are awesome, and the performance are awesome. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep it. I have the Revolution Batman palette. This one, I don't know what it's called really. The formula in this palette is very good. I enjoy the formula. I enjoy the shimmers. I enjoy this color story, even though it's a little bit basic for me. I enjoy this palette overall. I also have this Makeup Revolutions palette. It's the Newlyweds. I enjoy this palette. I love it. I'm keeping it. So yes. I also have this one. It's from the Corpse Bride. I love the Corpse Bride a lot. I also love Batman, which is why I have both of those. I really want the new Beetlejuice collection. But anyways, this is what this one looks like. Now, I have this one sitting on my desk. This one is potentially eventually going to go because I like this one more than this one, although I do love this packaging of this one. As far as performance goes, it's not my favorite. So right now I'm keeping it, but it's on the chopping block for me. So I have the Harley Quinn palette from Makeup Revolution. It looks like this. I did enjoy this palette. The shimmers were pretty cool, but it doesn't go deep enough. And as much as I love Harley Quinn and this packaging, I think this one should go. I have the other Batman palette, and it looks like this. Very good quality. I enjoy this palette. I will be keeping it. Or will I? I'm gonna get rid of this palette. I have the Haha Joker one. I'm gonna keep this palette. I liked it. I feel like I'm being so ruthless compared to what I thought it was gonna be, because over the last couple of months I've gotten rid of already like 70 palettes. I had a collection of 200, a little bit over 200. Now I think I'm getting down to less than 100. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I just want to keep stuff that makes me happy, because I want to fill this up again, but I want to fill it up with things that I love more. Or maybe I don't want to fill it up and I just want to use what I have. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I have this Rebel Rogue Labs Howlin' For You. This is like the only palette that I've kept the outer carton to because it's different. And it's like a thicker cardboard. It's really nice. And here is this. I love the quality. I like this brand. I like the way this palette, you know, is. So I'm going to keep it. This isn't really a declutter. This is my collection video, but get rid of stuff that I don't feel I need to keep, I guess. Okay, so I have the Shanna B Miami Nights. I got this from Kristen Beauty Beatdown, and I love this palette a lot. So thank you. I have the Divinity by Shroud. It says Strobe, but they rebranded. This is what it looks like, and I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't use it enough to keep it. It is a very unique color story, and I do think it performs very well, but I don't reach for it very often. It's not my top color story, I guess, so to speak. I do have the Arcana, and it's from Shroud. Love this palette. Love it. I'm gonna keep it. I love the jewel tones and grunginess, and yeah. I also have It's Freaking Bats from Butte Bean, or Batty Bean, or whatever her new name is. I don't really watch her much anymore. I used to watch her a lot, but before she became what she is now, I liked her older content versus her new content. I know that may offend some of you. But I do enjoy her. I do like her, but I just like her older content. Anyways, I have this palette, and at first I hated it. I've gotten used to the performance and have been enjoying it. The color story is amazing. I love the shimmers, but do you see that white spot? That white spot is unmixed shadow. And I feel like, because I bought this at launch and I waited months and months and months for it, I feel like she was in such a hurry that my shadows weren't mixed properly, and that's why I had performance issues. But I really do like it, and I love the new one that was just released, but I didn't buy it. I have the Creepy Cute from them. It's the pastel, and like I said, I don't have very many pastels, so I keep it for the pastel-y. And like some of these, like the Third Eye, the Strawberry Milk, and the Planchette make really good blushes for me sometimes, so I'm gonna keep it for that. And it is really good formula, really good. So I have the Natural Lust from Too Faced. My best friend got this for me, and it's a very neutral, very basic palette. I do have pan in the black. That black is like the best black I've ever used. It's very basic, very boring. It's like, but I love the packaging, and I'm still not ready to get rid of it. And that black is amazing. I have the Gingerbread Spiced palette. I love it. I love it. I'm keeping it. Oh, this is an S. Sorry, it should have gone with my S's. This is from Spoiled Lips. It's the Glamoween. This is, I forgot her name, but I used to really like her when she created YouTube content. Now she doesn't really create YouTube content and has kind of changed. It's Cindy Nicole, kind of changed. And so I don't really watch her or like follow her, you know, stuff anymore. I have 3 pans in this palette. In the white, black, and gray, I used the bejeebies out of it, and it's time for this one to go. That was in a random spot, sorry. I have the Flamingo palette from Violet Voss, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna keep it for now, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I like the shimmers, but I haven't used it very much. And if I'm gonna reach into a very summery palette like this, I'm probably gonna go into like my Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette or something like that versus this. So I'm just gonna get rid of it because I've had it for so long and haven't used it very much. So it's gonna go, you guys. Wow. Violet Voss is also not cruelty free, but that I don't get rid of my stuff just because I'm trying to move towards cruelty free. I keep stuff that I like and use it, you know? I just don't use that enough. Okay, you guys, this one is in the wrong place. It's the Ciate London, the Velvet palette. Makeup with Makeup by Pia W sent this to me because I really wanted to try Ciate London, and this is what it looks like. And thank you so much, Pia, for sending this to me so I could try this palette or this brand. I enjoyed the shimmers in this palette that I used. They're so soft and very beautiful. I know so many people like talk shit about Ciate London, but I enjoyed the shimmers in here, but I don't so much enjoy this color story. It does not go like deep enough for me, and I really hope I'm not hurting your feelings, Pia, but I'm gonna declutter this one. I enjoyed trying it, I really did, and I'm thankful that I got to try this brand, but this color story just isn't speaking to me. If you want it back, let me know and I'll send it back to you. I'm sorry. Back to the V's. I have the Violet Voss Sunkissed palette, and the shimmer, especially the Berry Hot shimmer in this palette, is stunning. It's amazing. I'm not ready to let this one go. I think I can still get some good use out of it. And then I have the Forget Me Not. I enjoyed the shit out of this palette. I enjoyed the looks that I created with this palette, and I like this color story. However, there's 2 shimmers in this color story, or this palette, and 2 mattes that just looked too similar. It doesn't go deep enough for me, and although I used this palette and loved the looks that I created and the fun that I had with it, I don't foresee myself picking this up to create a look with it, and there's nothing in this palette that I don't have in another palette, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I have the Wicked Sisters palette. I think it's called Spellbook, but I'm not sure. And this is what it looks like. I'm keeping it because I still think I can get some use out of it. The formula is okay. It's very dry and very hard pressed, but I didn't struggle with it. I just didn't like it very much. Like, it was an okay formula. It performed fine, a little dry, a little hard pressed, but it worked. So why, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my preference. And I stated that when I did an Instagram thing for it, and the brand still liked my post and thanked me. And that says a lot about this brand. A lot. I love their style, and I love the packaging that they have created for a lot of their palettes. It's very spooky, and like I said, this palette performed fine. I didn't struggle with it, so I'm gonna keep it. This one was sent to me from Kristen, Beauty Beatdown. It is the British Museum with Ziza. It says number 2, and it says we're all mad here. I played with this once. I need to play with it more. That glitter is really pretty, but it creased on me. The color story is a little bit confusing, but overall, like, the shimmers in this was really good, and I want to continue to play with this palette. Plus this packaging. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I have this Ziza Fireworks palette, and the look I created with it was really pretty, and I really do like this pressed glitter in this palette. I actually used it and didn't. I used it and I didn't have any issues with it. Now some of these, like, were really hard pressed, and the color story sort of lacks for me a little bit, but I'm not ready to get rid of it. I just got it not too long ago, and one look just isn't enough for me to want to get rid of it, especially since the look I created I really liked. Alright, all that's left are my singles and like weird put together palettes. So I have this Misunderstood from ColourPop. It is not the normal ColourPop palette. It is shades that I had ripped out of ColourPop palettes that I had that I really liked. Mostly all shimmers. Actually, it is all shimmer. I like the packaging, so that's why I filled it, but I'm gonna get rid of it. When and next time I do something like this, I will be writing the names on the back of them and using Z palettes if I ever do decide to go that route. I have the Sailor Moon one, and this one is all pressed glitters from ColourPop, and I will be keeping this because I do like the pressed glitters. Again, with pressed glitters from ColourPop is this one. Some of them have pan, so yes, I will be keeping. I have a Give Me Glow Z palette that has Give Me Glow shimmers in it that I really like. This one and this one came from Andy Does Stuff, and I really do enjoy Give Me Glow's shimmers. And then I have one more, and this one is a freaking mess. This is like an ABH Z palette, which has the strongest magnetic pull in it, which is ridiculous. But there is a broken shadow in here. When I had opened it, I was disappointed. There's actually 2. Yeah. So it's this mac and cheese shadow from Give Me Glow, and it's funny because that one actually arrived to me broken, and they had to send me another one, and it broke. So I feel like I would not recommend their mac and cheese shadow because it broke. And then this, I forgot what this one's called. I want to say it's like Smoke or Gun and Smoke or Smoke something, and that one keeps breaking on me too. So these are from Give Me, or not Give Me Glow, Shroud, the Arcana singles, but I need to clean this palette up, and I will be tossing both of those, and it's disappointing because they were expensive. I will say Give Me Glow's stuff can be very finicky, so I need to clean that palette up. But you guys, that is all of my palettes. So with my part 1 and part 2, I decluttered 35 palettes, which doesn't seem like very many, but like I said, I just got rid of 50 palettes, 55 plus another 16 not too long ago as well. So I've really dwindled down, and yeah, they fit on 3, 1, 2, and 3, and you can't see the top one, but 1, 2, and 3, they fit on 3 shelves instead of 4, and I feel pretty good about that. And I also feel good about what I kept, and that I will have more enjoyment. Also, doing this collection video helped me so much because it reminded me of what I have, and I'm going to be entering them all into a Tiny Decisions app and doing new content, so that'll be exciting. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please stick around. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm learning a lot about myself, and yeah, so here's to making better decisions and buying decisions in the future. And I have lipstick on my teeth. Oh my god, I really hope that hasn't been there this whole time, but it probably has. I'm sorry. That's awkward. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna go. Bye. I'm back again, but I counted all my palettes. I have 134. That's more than anybody needs. That includes my Z palettes and pressed glitter palettes, but it's 134 eyeshadows. There's more than anybody needs, but we're here. So anyways, bye.